Ranthambore has always been a very special place for me because my father, late Mr. Fateh Singh Rathore, he was the founding director of Ranthambore National Park. But as a result of being his son, I got the opportunity to grow up and live in the jungle because that's where our home was, in the park. As the pressure of people around Ranthambore increased, deforestation was happening really rapidly. And so the challenge is going to be, how do these people sort of coexist with the park? If they continue to sort of, live off the park like they have for generations, then Ranthambore is surely going to disappear. As I was graduating to become a doctor in Jaipur, this became a concern for me and I wanted to sort of come back here. And that became my sort of life ambition, to sort of be a mediator between these two very important issues: survival of people versus the survival of tigers. Prakratik Society was born out of the need of trying to find some way in which there could be some discussions as to what were the issues that the people felt they had and how those issues could be minimized so that the impact could be less on the forest. Until the basic needs of people, whether it's healthcare, education, food on the table, employment, are taken care of, it's very difficult for communities to actually understand the importance and the need for conservation of species like tigers. One of the biggest issues that people that live around the park have is energy to cook food. People go into the park to log the trees and bring timber out. The other energy source for them is cow dung. Using biogas is very easily acceptable and available and can be done quite cheaply. You put this cow dung into this tank, mix it with a little bit of water, it goes into an underground tank, it ferments, forms methane, which gets piped to your house. And this is such a good source of energy for cooking. And the byproduct, which is the cow dung, still continues to remain as a fertilizer or manure to be used in the fields. The reason for starting the school was a better educated population can understand the dynamics of environmental issues, conservation issues, and day-to-day livelihood issues in a much better manner. In areas like Ranthambore, which are really rural and pretty sort of remote, girl education is virtually negligible. That's a mindset that needs to change, and it can only change with education. But it takes a generation. The first girls will pass out in 12 years, and then the first girls will get a job and they become a catalyst for the next generation to sort of follow in their footsteps. Some of the children that are passed out are now pursuing to become doctors. Some of them are pursuing to become engineers. So that's great, to see children sort of move out of a small rural community and explore the world and find new opportunities. In impoverished societies, if you want to bring about change, one of the first things you need to do is to start looking after their health, because that's the only way you can build inroads into a society that has nothing. A lot of our equipment is at par with what you would get anywhere else in some of the most advanced healthcare centers in the world. And we can take care of even the most sort of severe emergencies and hopefully save the life. One of the key issues that has been close to my heart is, neonatal deaths, which many times can be prevented with simple intervention. Even though the hospital is of such a high standard, we've tried to sort of live up to our philosophy that it should be for the poorest of the poor. When people come to our hospital for surgeries like the cataract surgery, and they can't afford even the basic cost of the surgery, and then we do it free in those cases. There's a great joy in the process of being able to do this, and in this process being able to actually build relationships with communities that live around Ranthambore, who then can actively participate with us in the conservation process. And that's the amazing beauty of Ranthambore, that it's just one of the most amazing places to come and see tigers. At the end of the day, we have to all work together. If we don't save the park, there's a lot to be lost.